Hey, I'm June Jackson, and I'm going to talk about what does this say about me? This is probably the most difficult question a human being can ask themselves. Have you ever noticed where you or someone else is constantly judging other people and talking about other people? I know I've caught myself doing it. And it's can become a habit as if, okay, that's just normal. Me and my friends are going to sit around and talk about someone else or all these other people and judge them and, um, maybe even hold grudges against them, maybe even um, create drama with them. So the hardest thing to do is to say, what does this say about me? Because usually, if I'm being triggered by someone else and it's bothering me and I'm judging them and I'm talking about them and I'm all focused on them, it's usually because it has something to do with me. It has something to do with me. And usually we don't think it has anything to do with us. So that's why I say this is the hardest question to ask ourselves. So this video is going to introduce the idea of projections, which we all do. It's a human tendency to project onto someone else um, traits, basically traits that I have, traits that you have, you're projecting them onto these other people. If it's not projection, it's transference, meaning someone else has these traits, maybe somebody, and oftentimes it could be somebody that has hurt you in your life. And so those traits, when you recognize them, they're bothering you because it's bringing up a memory of some unpleasant time in your life where someone has hurt you, someone that had these traits has hurt you. So that's transference. And why is it so difficult for us to consider that maybe this says something about me? It's really hard to do, but I have found in my life and in the life of a lot of my clients that, if we will just go ahead and consider the idea that this says something about me, it's going to make life a lot easier, actually. So, how do we do that? Let me kind of lay out a method for you. Okay, first of all, I find it very helpful to consider what are the traits of this trigger. What are the traits? And I'm going to put a link to a PDF that you can print out, or you can just pull it up on your device. And this gives you some examples. This is by no means a list of all the different traits, but it's going to get you motivated and it's going to kind of inspire you to consider what are the traits that I'm seeing here in this person, place, or thing that is triggering me. What are the traits? And we want to rest. We want to rest in mindfulness. We want to get some space, take a few deep breaths, look at the list, and identify all of the traits. And I have used this tool so many times. Sometimes when I'm being highly triggered, I have taken out this list and I have underlined the traits that I'm seeing. And sometimes there are 10 to 15 traits that I'm seeing. And so identifying them, just circle them or underline them and give some space to this. Give yourself some space and some time, taking some deep breaths, relaxing into it, and just know that this is a very good, positive practice. You're doing this for self care, self awareness. Underline the traits. Get familiar with what traits are the ones that typically do trigger you. because you're going to start seeing patterns. I've definitely seen patterns in my life. The triggers may seem very different, outwardly. They may look different. I might think that has nothing to do with anything that's ever triggered me before. But when I get out the traits list and I start being very honest, yeah, I can see patterns. Certain traits really do trigger me more than other traits. All right. So work on that. And once you get a good idea of what are the traits that typically trigger you, and just stick with one event at a time, one trait at a time. What is going on right now? List it all out, write them all down, and look at all of them together, and then say, what does this say about me? What does this have to do with me? Do I have these traits? If the answer is no, say no. Do you want to have these traits? Yes or no? No? If it's no, just really feel the no. Let your whole system feel and express that no. Write it out. Why not? Why do you not want to have these traits? And just really settle in with that and become very, very clear. What does this say about me? And then notice as you are able to really honor what this does say about you and why these traits frustrate you. When was the first time that you encountered this type of thing? Was it harmful? How did you feel? How did that feel? Give some space to the actual emotions. Take a moment to just honor. Why can't we just take a moment to honor our emotions? Let ourselves feel that. Let it just pass. Breathe into it. And just notice as you really honestly look at, what does this say about me? And then look back at the original trigger and notice how it's going to relax. It's going to relax. So that's it. The importance of really owning and claiming what's going on with us is so powerful. Very, very simple. I think that the tools that I share here are very simplistic. And in fact, some people might think it's just too simple, but that's okay, because even though it sounds simple, it's not always easy to practice. And I think that these simple tools that I'm sharing here are important. And if you do find these easy to practice, then I think that your life is going to be running more smoothly and you're going to have more joy and clarity in your life. You're not going to be projecting as much. You're not going to be blaming other people for your sense of inner peace. Yeah, it's just a beautiful way to live. So like the channel and give me a thumbs up. Thanks.